Hello, I'm going to show you how to replace the resistance or back pad foam in an 8-track tape. What I first will start out with is actually making the foam strips. If you do have a distributor, upholstery repairman, or any type of person who sells foam itself, that's a great thing to have because you can actually buy these in sheets such as this. Sometimes these are used for shipping or again for upholstery, but if you can get your hands on some foam, this is the type you were looking for. Now, foam comes in various densities and levels of resistance. Some of them are extremely pliable, soft, others are very hard. You certainly don't want one that's too hard, because when the head pushes against the tape, the foam will be too rigid and you'll either both wear out the tape or the head faster, or at worst case you could even misalign the head. And you don't want anything that's too soft, because there is actually no resistance then against the tape, and so there can be crosstalk, and sometimes that foam is even more prone to becoming decomposed. So something that's nominally pliable, such as this, would work well. What you do is you can cut these into strips, and I use a common X-Acto blade, this one adjustable actually, which actually works well because you can always break off the edge and get a new sharpness, and it's important that these are sharp and long enough. You can either cut it on a short length or on a long length, and I will show you how to do that right now. It's not that hard. However, there's never any guarantee that it's going to come out uniform. The idea is you want to keep the foam as even and flat as possible, and what I use is a wooden ruler with a metal edge. It's very important, otherwise you chew up the metal with the blade. And I line it up and I make it about 1/4 inch thick, and what I'll do is I will then take the blade and hold it here and just carefully pull back, and I use this foam actually as a backing so that it doesn't wear out the tip of the blade. And you basically go like this. And this one actually turned out pretty good. Sometimes it doesn't quite cut through, you got to pull it back, but you can see the thickness isn't too bad. Now, unfortunately, it is a little beveled here, so you may have to try it again, which I will do. And that's a little better. I'll try one more. And this one's pretty good. So I'm going to use this strip of foam. Now, over on the work table, I have taken apart a tape, as you can see here, and I'm going to replace the foam. And what I'll do is I'll first take the tape off. I'll use a pair of tweezers, such as these, and just simply lift the tape out. Or lift the foam out, I'm sorry. Then, get yourself some paper towel, and you want to save the cardboard and the cellophane. I like to reuse as much of this as I can. So what I'll do is I'll just simply pull it off, each half, and then I'll take my finger and actually remove the cruddy old foam like this. Just kind of roll it off, and then just wipe it across the paper towel to get the residual goo off. Oop. And I'll do the same with the plastic. Use my finger, wipe it off, wipe against the paper towel or any type of cloth, just get the goo off, like that. And again here. Okay, now what I do is I have a piece of paper, and I've used this several times, so what you'll notice is that it has a coating of rubber cement. Now, I use rubber cement for several reasons. One, it's easy to work with, and two, it stays flexible and dries relatively fast. And what I do is I take the first strip, place it here with the foam where it was sticking to the sticky side up. Okay, you want to make sure you don't put the smooth side up, you want that facing down. Then you take the cardboard, again with the foam side up, and you place it next to it. Now in this particular example I'm only going to do one pad at a time. What I'll normally do is if I have 6 or 7 tapes or as many, I'll open up all 6 tapes and I'll take out each foam piece from them and I'll basically lay them in a cross in a row. So I might have 7 of these laying here. For instance, I'll have the cellophane, cardboard, etc., etc. And then, because I do that in like a mass production, now what I do is I take regular Elmer's rubber cement or any rubber cement, open it up, make sure it's not too thick. If you need a solvent, then you need to add the solvent. Don't breathe this stuff, it's not exactly healthy for you. Take the rubber cement and just lightly coat this back of the cellophane and then the back of the cardboard. Okay. Now rubber cement actually works better if you coat 2 opposite sides and then stick them together after they're dry. It doesn't work so well if you're applying it while it's still wet. Then what I do is I'll take the foam strip that I cut, such as this, I'll take some rubber cement, and you don't want to get too much on, just enough to put a very light coating on. If you don't want to douse it and make it too much, or otherwise it'll ruin the foam and it'll actually cause the foam to squish like the original rotted foam. So you just want to put a nice light layer on it. And again, if you have more strips to do, you can cover as much of this as you can that you think will be as much to repair the foam strips. But in this case, since I'm only doing one, I'm only going to cover a small section like this. Yeah, don't put too much on. Just a light coating like that. Okay, let it dry a little bit. Now, you take your tweezer, close your rubber cement so it doesn't dry up. Okay, let it dry a little bit, you can air dry it. Take your tweezer, grab one end, and work on the cellophane side first. Turn it upside down so the glue side is facing down and place it right over the foam like this. And line it up and just press it down lightly. Grab the next section and do the same with that. Now if you have one piece cellophane, it's a lot easier. Of course, you don't have to do it in 2 sections. But this one happens to be a 2-piece cellophane. So do that, push it down. And if you were doing more cellophane, you would do the next one here, and the next one here, and the next one here, etc. Take the cardboard, okay, turn the foam over, and align the cardboard where the cellophane is, so that it's exactly on the back side as the cellophane. And just place it down like that. Okay, and push it down. Now, I usually try to start with a nice, clean, sharp, straight edge, so it cuts very easily. Otherwise, if you don't have a sharp razor edge, you'll end up getting the foam all gnarled and knotted up, and it'll get squished and it doesn't work too well. And you want to cut from the cellophane side up with the razor blade, because if you don't, then chances of cutting the cellophane are greater rather than cutting the cardboard. The cardboard's a lot more rigid. So what you do, you take the razor, start at the edge of the cellophane, push down, and just slowly work it up and cut across like that. Okay, and hold it up and just cut a little bit so that you have the entire edge of the cellophane cut. Then cut along the short side like that. Okay? Then there's your foam. Now this one actually has 2 pieces, and you need to separate it because of the nature of the shell and how this fits in there. So you just take your razor blade, put it between where it's separated, maybe pull it apart so you can see it, and then just cut like that. And that's it. And then you take it and you put it back, wipe off any residual goo, and you just simply put it back into the shell. Pull it apart a little bit, work it in the ends, and just slide it down. Sometimes it may not stick too well. You need to maybe reinforce, or if it doesn't stick, take it apart and add more glue. They can sort of tend to come off until it's completely dry, and if not, again, just add more glue and just insert it like that. And that's it.